Good morning guys and welcome to MYP. It is Wednesday and we have made it to the midpoint of the week. Now if you know about me and how we roll at MYP, we don't consider Wednesday to be a hump day but more of a jump day. So a day to try something new and to get out of your comfort zone. And with regards to stuff like that guys, we're going to bounce straight in today with psychological well-being. Last week we looked at little things you could do in the day to help you sort of get used to your regular routines, things like meditation. A couple of you have got back to me about some great stuff to do with meditation. We're going to take that a little bit further this week and we're really going to look at how you can impose an impression on yourself and how that can then project onto other people around you. So let's dive into it straight away. Guys, my bit of advice for you, I want you to really think about this from the inside. Everything you do, everything you are, and everything you have, okay, and how you present yourself to the world is 100% you, okay, which means you're in control of it. Nobody else is in control of it. When you're tired, when you're upset, when you're overworked, when you're busy, when you're stressed, when you're just run down, you're in control of that and you get to change all of those things, guys, in your life. Nobody else has that influence to change it, okay, just you. So on that notion, guys, I want you to take a step back and have a little reflection on yourself, okay? Spend a little bit of time and have a chat with yourself, and we're really going to dive into how to do that and what the benefits will be of having that conversation with yourself. So my thought for today, guys, okay? The most important relationship that anybody can have is the relationship you have with yourself, okay? So you need to be nice, you need to be kind, you need to be compassionate and thinking about yourself, okay? If you can't be friends with yourself, how are you going to expect anybody else to be friends with you? So that's your thought for today, okay? I want you to really think about the relationship you have with yourself. And now for your challenge. Now this is going to be quite difficult for some of you because I think having worked with people in the past and currently working with our psychologists and some of the testers, I know some of us struggle to have a bit of reflection time, okay? But that's good though, and I really like the fact that some of you are open to trying new things, and I found that off the back of the meditation ideas that you guys worked with last week. I want you now to think about finding out a bit more about yourself, okay? So in order to do that, you need to take some time away from your busy schedules to really sort of tie down who you are and what you're about. So I want you to find out what your passions are, okay? What you like, okay? What you don't like. I want you to really tie these things down. And the best form that I've found to do, guys, is to journal. Now, about 2 years ago when I was working as a teacher, I was having a horrendous time with workloads, family commitments. We just bought a new house, Sarah was pregnant. I'd taken on new responsibility in my school, and I was then being penalised for my inability to produce teaching in another subject to the sort of appropriate standard, and I was just like super stressed. It was Christmas and I just had all this stuff going on in my head and I didn't know what to do, and I was physically and metaphorically bringing home work every single day, and I think hands down had probably one of the worst Christmases I've ever had. And if anybody knows me, guys, or you start to get to know me through this medium, you know that I'm pretty chilled out and I'm pretty relaxed. So for it to be that stressful for me, it was pretty bad. And one of the great things that I'd learned from speaking to mentors and reading books was this idea of starting to write stuff down, okay, or what I like to call journaling. And journaling now is now part of my daily routine. It's something I do every day, and if I miss it, I jump back in on it straight away. And if I do miss it, I can tell I've missed it because I've got all this extra stuff going on in my head. But yeah, it's very simple to start. All you need, guys, is a bit of paper and a pen, okay? So you just want to sit down there and just write the thoughts out in your head. And all I did, guys, is I wrote about how my feelings were from the day previous. So for example, I got up today at 5 o'clock and I wrote in my journal about yesterday. Okay, so I wrote about how I was feeling, significant events of the day, how I felt at the beginning of the day, how I felt at the end of the day, and all these things that were in my brain. Now, obviously I'm in such a better place now than I was 2 years ago. Okay, almost 2 years to the month. Back then I had all these terrible thoughts of how I was going to be able to keep on being a teacher, how I was going to be able to be a successful parent, a husband, a homeowner. Was I ever going to really do well in life? And I was having a terrible time of it. And because you just start to cast doubt into your mind. And that's what happens when you don't get the stuff out of your brain. So if you're having any problems with stress, guys, any problems with anxiety, you're concerned about stuff, I highly recommend you get a journal and you just start to write it down. There is no right or wrong method, guys. Take a pen, take a bit of paper, and just write whatever comes out, okay? Just let it flow. And this is something I've told all my clients to use, other NYP users, personal friends, husbands, wives, people that I've worked with, guys. I have told them and recommended that they share it with their partners as well, okay? I wrote this stuff down in my journal. I'm now on my 3rd or 4th journal, and it's part of my daily routine. So you're now starting to build up a bit of a healthy morning routine, or potentially if you do it in the morning. So we've got our meditation and we've got our journaling. Hopefully you guys can take some time, 10 minutes, that's all it is, bit of paper and a pen, and just start to write down your thoughts, okay? Get it on paper and get it out of your brain. And I guarantee a couple of days of that and you'll already start to feel better. And it's even better, guys, if you can then share your thoughts with somebody else. I did it indirectly with my wife. I just left my journal out and I just put a little note on the journal that said, you can read this, but don't judge me. You can only read this if you love me. And it was one of those things where I didn't have any lies or anything I was ashamed of. It was just something that if my wife wanted to read, she could find out where I was coming from, she was able to read. It just gave her a little insight into what was going on in my life. So I highly recommend that you do that, okay? Get it done and then let me know how it's going, and let the rest of the guys on the Facebook page know how it's going, because we are and we do care, guys, about you guys at home. And now for your motivator, guys. So something to think about for the rest of the day when you're just not sure if you should be cracking on or being distracted by something else. Keep your thoughts positive, because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive, because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive, because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive, because your habits become your values. Keep your values positive, because your values, guys, they become your destiny. All right? That's a long one. It's a big one to get your head around it. But once you do that and start to understand some of the points from it, it's going to make it all seem a little bit clearer. Have an amazing day, guys, and we'll rock on with the rest of the week. See you later, NYP.